Have you ever wondered why GPS works perfectly in your city, but becomes completely useless in the middle of the ocean or space? Well, in this video we'll break down how GPS works, and why it has surprising limitations when you're far from land or orbiting Earth. When we think about getting lost, we tend to imagine ourselves in a dark, unfamiliar forest without a map or compass, but the truth is, you don't have to wander too far from civilization to find yourself out of range of all familiar landmarks and traditional navigation systems. And that's where GPS comes in. For over 2 decades, GPS, or Global Positioning System, has been our go-to technology for knowing exactly where we are. This satellite-based navigation system provides location and time data anywhere on or near Earth, 24 hours a day. And what makes GPS so remarkable is that it's free for anyone to use. But how does it work? Well, at its core, GPS is pretty simple. It consists of 31 satellites orbiting the Earth, strategically placed to cover every part of the planet. Every second, these satellites transmit a time-stamped signal to your device. Whether it's an Apple Watch, smartphone, or standalone GPS receiver, your device picks up these signals from multiple satellites and calculates the exact time it took for each one to arrive. Triangulating this data allows your device to determine your precise location. Generally, you need signals from at least 4 satellites to get an accurate fix. And if there are obstructions, like tall buildings, your device may use a technique called satellite-based augmentation to improve its accuracy. In fact, GPS is such a ubiquitous part of modern life that many of us take it for granted. We use it to navigate unfamiliar cities, track our fitness levels, or even find the nearest coffee shop. But what happens when you venture away from the familiar? What if you're navigating the open sea or exploring the vastness of space? Today, we're going to explore the unexpected places where GPS just doesn't work and what technologies come to the rescue when you're far from the familiar. Let's start with the ocean. As anyone who's taken a coastal cruise knows, being surrounded by water can be both exhilarating and disorienting. On a clear day, it's easy to lose sight of landmarks, making it challenging to figure out where you are. But thanks to GPS, we no longer need to rely on intuition or experience to keep us on course. We just fire up our phones or GPS devices and let the satellite signals guide us. But what happens when you dive beneath the surface? As soon as you submerge yourself a few meters underwater, GPS becomes totally useless. That's because the signals GPS satellites send are radio waves, and these don't travel well through water. In fact, the ocean absorbs and scatters radio waves, making them impossible to detect once you're a few meters below the surface. That's why submarines and deep-sea vehicles have to rely on other means of navigation, such as sonar and inertial systems. Sonar, or sound navigation and ranging, uses sound waves to measure distances and map objects underwater. By sending out a sound pulse and measuring how long it takes to come back, sonar can create a detailed map of the ocean floor and any objects in the way. Meanwhile, inertial systems, such as gyroscopes and accelerometers, measure changes in movement to estimate a vessel's position and velocity. Together, these technologies allow ships and submarines to navigate the murky depths without relying on GPS. While this might seem like a setback for GPS technology, it's actually a testament to the ingenuity of engineers who had to develop alternative solutions for underwater navigation. After all, the ocean covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface, and it would be impractical to try and extend GPS signals to such depth. Instead, these challenges led to the development of new technologies that have their own unique capabilities, allowing explorers and researchers. But what about space? Unlike the ocean, space is practically limitless. And if GPS satellites orbit the Earth, shouldn't they provide coverage anywhere in the solar system? Well, yes and no. While it's true that GPS satellites orbit the Earth, they aren't designed to be used by spacecraft traveling through it. That's because GPS was developed with Earth-based receivers in mind, which typically look up at the sky to find satellites. If a satellite is, say, 20,000 kilometers above Earth's surface, it's extremely unlikely that a spacecraft would be looking in that direction. Instead, spacecraft usually face Earth directly, or focus on other celestial bodies like the Moon or Mars. For example, NASA's Mars rovers use a combination of onboard clocks and telescopic communications to keep track of time. They also carry star trackers and image processing software that can identify known constellations, allowing them to calibrate their onboard clocks and maintain communication with Earth. Similarly, astronauts on the International Space Station use a system called the Star Tracker Reference Unit to orient the station and communicate with ground control. This unit uses a telescope and sophisticated software to identify bright stars and guide the station towards them, ensuring that the station remains properly aligned. Of course, this doesn't mean that GPS is entirely useless in space. Some spacecraft do carry specialized GPS receivers, but these require complex calibration to function properly. For instance, the European Space Agency's Galileo satellites, which make up Europe's own global navigation system, have special receivers that are calibrated to be accurate within a few millionths of a second. Without this level of precision, the satellites couldn't maintain their position in orbit or provide accurate positioning data. So what does this tell us about the nature of GPS? Well, it highlights the fact that technology is always evolving and adapting to new environments. GPS was designed for terrestrial applications, and while it works incredibly well on Earth, it's not the perfect solution for space exploration. It is a testament to human ingenuity that we've been able to develop alternative technologies that work in the vacuum of space. But it also reminds us that there will always be new challenges and frontiers to explore. Whether we're delving into the depths of the ocean or venturing into the vast expanse of space, we'll need to continue developing new tools and technologies to help us navigate the unknown. For now, though, when you reach for your phone to check your location, take a moment to appreciate the incredible network of satellites and ground stations that make it possible. Thanks for watching. When it comes to cutting-edge tech, space exploration, and the latest scientific discoveries, we've got you covered. Our team of experts breaks down the most exciting developments in science and technology so you can easily understand why they matter. You'll learn what's really happening behind the headlines and discover how these advancements affect our daily lives and shape our future. We bring you the most important news from the world of science and technology, so you can stay ahead of the curve. Our platform is where you come to find out what's next. So subscribe now and join the growing community of curious minds that are shaping the future of our planet. If you enjoyed this video, you might be interested in learning more about another fascinating aspect of GPS, its vulnerability to jamming. GPS jamming explained. If you're like me, you probably use GPS every day, whether it's to navigate traffic or find a new hiking trail. GPS has become an indispensable tool for many of us. But did you know that this seemingly invincible technology is actually vulnerable to jamming? GPS jamming is the deliberate disruption of GPS signals which can render the system useless in certain areas, and it's becoming an increasingly common threat around the world. From military operations to acts of terrorism, GPS jamming can have serious consequences, and it's crucial that we understand the risks and how to mitigate them. In this video, I'll take you through everything you need to know about GPS jamming, including how it works, why it's a threat, and how to protect yourself against it. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or just someone who relies on GPS, this is a topic that you won't want to miss. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching.